Welcome back to my channel, where we dive into the latest news and controversies surrounding some of the biggest names in the world. And today's topic is sure to ruffle some feathers. We're talking about what Elon Musk, one of the most influential figures in technology and entrepreneurship, recently said about the possibility of Donald Trump winning the next election if he were to be arrested. Yes, you heard that right. Elon Musk, the man who is usually quite reserved when it comes to political commentary, has made some bold statements that are bound to ignite heated debates and discussions. So get ready to buckle up, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. What led to Donald Trump's probe? The probe of Donald Trump, the former president of the United States of America, has several contributing factors. One of the most significant was the investigation into Russia's interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. This investigation, led by special counsel Robert Mueller, looked into whether the Trump campaign had colluded with Russian officials during the election. During the course of the investigation, Mueller uncovered several instances where Trump had attempted to obstruct justice by pressuring officials to drop the investigation, or by firing those investigating him, including former FBI Director James Comey. Additionally, there were several allegations of financial improprieties, including potential violations of campaign finance laws, tax fraud, and other financial crimes. These allegations included payments made to women who claimed to have had affairs with Trump, which were alleged to have been made to influence the outcome of the election. As a result of these investigations, multiple legal probes were launched, including by the FBI, Congress, and several state attorney generals. The probes ultimately led to Trump's impeachment by the House of Representatives in 2019 and again in 2021, although he was acquitted both times by the Senate. The investigations and allegations surrounding Trump have been highly controversial and polarizing, with supporters and critics divided on the merits and motivations of the probes. What has Donald Trump been indicted for? Former President Donald Trump has been indicted by a grand jury in Manhattan, making him the first former president in U.S. history to be indicted. The indictment is related to hush money payments to the tune of $130,000 made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels less than 2 weeks before his 2016 presidential campaign. Trump is facing charges of falsifying business records and scheme to defraud in connection to the payments. The indictment has raised a lot of questions about the legal and political implications of the charges and what happens next. However, it is important to note that the indictment is just the first step in the legal process and does not necessarily mean that Trump will be found guilty. The case will proceed to trial, and it will be up to the courts to determine whether or not Trump is guilty of the charges against him. What could happen if former President Trump is indicted? If former President Trump is indicted, it could have several significant legal and political ramifications. The exact consequences would depend on the nature of the charges, the outcome of any trial, and other factors. Here are some of the potential outcomes based on the information provided in the search results. Legal process. A grand jury has already indicted Trump on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, and he is likely to face additional charges in other ongoing investigations. If indicted, he would be officially charged with the crime, and a trial would follow. He would have the right to legal representation, and the burden of proof would be on the prosecution to prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Political implications. An indictment of a former president is unprecedented in American history, and it could have significant political consequences. The charges against Trump would likely be the subject of intense media scrutiny, and it could further polarize an already deeply divided country. Trump has a loyal base of supporters who may view the indictment as politically motivated, while others may view it as a necessary step to hold the former president accountable for his actions. Financial impact. Trump's legal troubles could have significant financial implications for him and his family. He may have to spend a considerable amount of money on legal fees, and his business interests may suffer if he is distracted by legal proceedings. He may also face fines and other penalties if found guilty of any charges. Election ramifications. Experts say that Trump could still run for president even if indicted or convicted, but it could present practical challenges. For example, he may struggle to raise money for a campaign, and it could be challenging to rally support from a divided electorate. What are the general pros and cons of Donald Trump's indictment? The pros and cons of Donald Trump's indictment can be subjective and politically charged. However, here are some general points to consider. Pros. Holding Trump accountable. Supporters of the indictment argue that it is important to hold former President Trump accountable for any potential criminal wrongdoing. Upholding the rule of law. The indictment could send a message that no one is above the law, even those in positions of power, setting a precedent. If the indictment leads to a conviction, it could set a precedent for future cases involving high-ranking officials. Cons: political polarization. Opponents of the indictment argue that it is politically motivated and could further polarize an already divided country. Potential backlash. The indictment of a former president is unprecedented and could lead to a backlash from Trump supporters, potentially fueling further political unrest. Uncertain outcome. The outcome of the indictment is uncertain and could have unintended consequences, such as further damaging the country's political institutions or undermining public trust in the justice system. What is Donald Trump asking his followers to do if indicted? Former U.S. President Donald Trump has made various statements and requests related to his potential indictment and conviction. Trump emailed his supporters in March 2023, asking them to sign a petition protesting his potential arrest and soliciting donations for his legal defense. However, there were no mention of what his supporters should do if he is actually indicted and convicted. In March 2023, Trump also posted on social media that he expected to be arrested on a specific date and called on his supporters to protest. Again, there was no specific mention of what actions his supporters should take if he is indicted and convicted. Some of Trump's supporters have suggested nonviolent forms of protest, such as a national bank run, in anticipation of his potential arrest. However, it is unclear whether Trump has explicitly endorsed or encouraged these actions. What has Elon Musk said about Donald Trump's indictment? Elon Musk made several comments regarding Donald Trump's potential indictment. In one instance, Musk predicted that if Trump is indicted, he will win the 2024 presidential election in a landslide victory. Musk made this prediction in response to a Fox News segment detailing the Manhattan DA's request to meet with law enforcement officials in anticipation of Trump's indictment. Additionally, Musk warned that an indictment of Trump could backfire. Musk mocked Democrats for the arrest of Trump, and Trump's potential indictment were focused on predicting the outcome of the 2024 presidential election and expressing his opinions on the potential consequences of Trump's indictment. He believes that Donald Trump will attain the status of martyr because of his arrest and appeal to even more voters than he did, which could possibly give him the next presidential elections. We would have to wait and see, as Elon Musk is hardly ever wrong. Conclusion. Well, folks, there you have it. Elon Musk has once again stirred up controversy with his bold and unexpected comments. Whether you agree or disagree with him, it's hard to deny that his words have sparked a lot of conversation and debate. Will Donald Trump actually run for president again? And if he does, will he win? It's anyone's guess at this point. But one thing is for sure, Elon Musk's prediction has certainly caught the attention of many people, and only time will tell whether it will come true or not. What do you think about Elon Musk's comments? Do you think they hold any weight, or are they just another example of sensationalism in the media? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thanks for tuning in.